Hello again. Right, this is part two of my wreath making tutorial, I suppose. And it's part two simply because I forgot to press the pause button on the last one. I just pressed the stop button instead of the pause button. So if you're starting with this one, go back and watch the other one first. So let's carry on, and hopefully I won't do anything wrong now. Right, so I've done a bit more weaving. I've got a few more pieces together, and as you can see, it's firming up now. So the more ivy you've got, the more pieces you can put on, the thicker and heavier it will be. If I turn it round, you can kind of see, can get that on where it's all been woven in and out on the back. That is a good idea for putting any ends that you've got flying around. You can just tuck them into there and weave them into the sort of back there as well. So this is where I am now. Still not a perfect circle, and if any of my floristry friends are watching this, they're going to be laughing their heads off, to be honest. But I'm trying to do it in a rush, and I'm trying to show you the basics of it. I'm sure you can all do a much better job. In fact, I think if I manipulate it a little bit, I could maybe make it into a heart shape, I think, one way or the other. But anyway, so you've got a nice solid wreath ring now, and that's just simply by weaving the ivy round itself. So I would actually normally work on this a little bit more and get it a bit thicker and a bit heavier, but actually it's all right, it's pretty sturdy. So once you've got it as thick as you want it anyway, the next thing to do is to start adding things on. Now you can be quite clever and weave it in as you're going along and weave your other pieces in. I tend to use a bit of florist wire. This is the only thing that I would be buying. The florist wire, you can get actually thin florist wires, if you can see that. But a good thing to buy are these reels, because these last absolutely ages, and you can do all kinds of things. You can use them for all kinds of things, to be honest, not just floristry. It's just a thin wire that's good for winding on. I think the last time I bought these, I think they cost about £1.50, £2 a reel. So, and they last absolutely ages. So, but as I say, you don't need to use this. You can improvise with anything else. Maybe you can improvise with hair clips, who knows. But anyway, this is what I use. So I'm going to go back to the straight pins to start with, and if I can get this near enough to the camera so that you can see it, if I'm going to pick up a piece of evergreen greenery, so, and then I'm just going to bend my pin in half and thread it onto the stem like that. And then I'm just going to squeeze them together and wind one of the pieces around the other so it's nice and tight and it gets a really good grip. I'm actually doing this on something that's a bit too big, but anyway, you get the idea. Smaller pieces are better and smaller bunches. So then you get, so that's nice and attached. And then from there, I'll try and do this backwards way around. And I'm left-handed, so maybe you might have to do this in a mirror image. And I can't even see which is the back and the front now. So I'm good at getting. Let's have a look. Right, okay. So once you've got your piece with the wire attached, it would be a case of just pushing the wire through your frame, pulling it out at the other end, and then it goes nice and tight in there, like that. And then I would just wind the wire around the stem, just making sure you point it back inwards so it's not going to stab you at a later date. And that's how you attach the pieces. So that was my camera dropping off the frame. Anyway, here we go. So you can mix and match. You can get a couple of pieces together, and again you do the same principle with the wire. Twist it round and stick it in. Simple as that. And you work your way all the way around it until it's full. You can do it with flowers, you can do it with seed heads. I've got these, as I'd said earlier on part 1, that these rose hips are great. They're less prickly than holly berries as well. And I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to get my wire when I can find it. It's all getting lost now in amongst the foliage. I'm just going to chop the scissors as well. You'll need some scissors or secateurs. So again, if you get a little bunch of berries, and you just wind your wire and twist it. Doing this in a hurry, so I'm making a pig's ear of it, to be honest. But hopefully you'll get the idea and you'll be able to make something perfect yourself. So this is how not to do it. Okay. So the berries are going in there as well. Okay. And it's quite sturdy once you've wired it in. And as I say, I will show you the one I made earlier, just to give you an idea. So you work all the way around it, and you get the effect that you like. You can add different, you know, if you get different leaf colour, different textures, it all adds to it. Give it a good shake to prove that it's not going to drop to bits. You can add some ribbon to it. You can add bows to it. You can add baubles to it. Fairy lights, I suppose, if you fancy. The other thing is cones. And again, with cones, it's a very simple business with a wire. And you just weave your wire in and out of the little cone seeds. When you get back to there, you twist it, and you use exactly the same process, and you just push it through. Obviously you can wire 2 or 3 cones together, and there you go, that's your cone as well. So it's just a case of working it round, putting whatever you want to put on it. As I say, anything decorative, tinsel or anything, however you feel. And that's it, basically. I would then use a piece of wire to thread through and to make a little hook behind it. You can also, I've no ribbon to show you actually at the moment, you can also just tie some ribbon to it to hang on your door, whatever you want. And that's that. Hopefully I've gone through everything. I'm not sure if it's as explanatory as I'd like it to be, but that's it in a nutshell. Give it a go, and if you've got any questions, then do ask me. I'm not the expert, but hopefully I'll be able to point you in the right direction. And again, completely free. You don't have to charge. You don't have to pay a fortune out for any classes or anything like that. So that's that. I will maybe make one on making swags and garlands as well, if anybody's interested how to do that. Again, completely free. You can make a big swag for your mantelpiece. So I will say goodbye for now. Have a nice Christmas. Bye bye.